These documents supposed to be delivered by Friday, Erica and Jim.
We will be watching. Whitney Wild, appreciate it. Thank you. Joining us now for more on the legal ramifications here, we're joined by former U.S. Attorney Elie Honig, CNN Supreme Court analyst Joan Biskupic. Good to have you both here. Elie, so nice to do this in person. As we look at this, as Whitney just said, she said this is really the most significant win for the House Select Committee so far. But the question is, will it actually play out for them?
Yeah, so Erica, first of all, this opinion that we saw last night is just a judicial annihilation of Donald Trump's position. And that's important because I think it's unlikely to ultimately get overturned on appeal. But the big question, of course, is the stay. But this was a huge win, really, on two levels for the committee. First of all, it puts a serious restriction on Donald Trump's overly aggressive use of executive privilege. But also, let's remember, these documents are really important. This is over 770 pages of internal White House documents created by and about the key players going through what they were doing during the key hours of January 6th. So this is sort of a two-track win, but there's more ahead in the Court of Appeals.
Joan, you cover the Supreme Court, of course. Trump's strategy potentially means this could go up to the Supreme Court in a situation where the Supreme Court could make a broader decision about the true extent of executive privilege. I suppose with your pulse on those 9 justices, what's the likelihood that this case goes that high, and on what time frame?
Well, I'm reminded of how many times in the past he said while he was president, just wait till I get to the Supreme Court, which I'm sure he'll say this time around. And, this is a new question. This is never before has any court been asked to decide whether former president assertion of executive privilege can essentially supersede a sitting president. And the district court judge acknowledged how novel this question is. But while she couldn't rely on, past precedent that locked it in, she certainly was guided by past Supreme Court decisions, which essentially put the executive privilege right on the institution, on the individual who's in office, not the personal interests of a president, essentially even at the time, or especially once he's left office. So I think that this 39-page opinion is pretty clear and deeply rooted in where the Supreme Court has been before. But to answer your question, yes, I think it could come up to the Supreme Court both on the issuance of some sort of temporary action, a stay to halt what could happen on Friday when the archive is supposed to turn over the papers, and then to the larger question of the merits. But as the district court judge said here, past Supreme Court rulings certainly guide in the direction that former President Trump would lose. And, it is a different court these days. It is a more unpredictable court with the 3 appointees of President Donald Trump. But I would predict that, whether it comes sooner or later, that this Supreme Court is not willing to let a former president assert the privilege against the wishes of a sitting president.
So let's talk about, before we even get to there is this question now of a stay, Elie, right? And which is going to be looked at, I would imagine, through a political lens, depending on where people stand, right? Whether it's granted or not. There has to be some legal merit, though, does there not, for that stay to be granted? Yeah,
so the stay is really the ball game here. It's important that we understand that because, as Joan just said, these documents are going to start being turned over to Congress on Friday. So if there's no stay, Congress will have those documents, then they're out there in the world. But you're not entitled to a stay. You have to show some reasonable likelihood of ultimate success, of ultimately winning this case. And given the way that this court opinion that we saw last night was put together, and Joan's right, there's no case that's directly on point, but it's really methodical, and it's hard to argue with just the basic common sense logic of the opinion, which is it's not up to the former guy, it's up to the current guy. If they disagree, then generally speaking, the current president gets to decide. It's hard to think of what a reasonable counter argument would be to that. So I think it could be hard for Donald Trump to show what he needs to show to get a stay.
Elie, folks watching now could be